Hey, how's it going? I've had a chance to watch your video here a few times. We'll talk about a couple things that I can see around the lap, some things of driving in general, and then we'll address your shifting question about skipping gears and kind of what to try. And then uh, I think I kind of see a couple things where you said some stuff was like awkward either way, and I can kind of see it, and I'll just give you some feedback on that. So let's just get started right here on the first lap. And we'll watch this all the way through till you come back to turn one again the second time, because you got a cleaner run through the second time. So we won't spend too much time talking about turn one right now since you were kind of watching the traffic ahead. We'll talk about it the second time when you were by yourself. Coming to these first set of corners, kind of always keep in mind that just a general tip to help you go faster, the more you can make the track a straight line and spend less time turning, the faster you can go. So let's take these two corners right here, for example. So right there, I can see the next apex. Don't think, don't overwork the car to like set up. Don't do this to go back all the way around here and then come back and get an exit out. Just draw a straight line. Accelerate to your next point. Be faster in between. Then here, park it, turn the car in a tighter radius, and then still get the same exit. It just, the more you work the wheel, the less throttle you can add because you're asking the car to do more turning. The more you turn the car, the longer you're making the track. So you're actually having to try to travel a farther distance rather than a shorter distance. So kind of always keep that in mind. And this is probably one of the biggest spots. It's like, oh, I would immediately do that differently. And I would just accelerate to the next point as quickly as possible, over slow for a shorter period of time, and then get the same exit off the corner. It's a good exit. But just to kind of reiterate, so every time you're turning the wheel, you're slowing yourself down. If you don't have to, don't do it. Probably try to come in here a little tighter and keep it tight. The amount of speed you're rolling, and just try to avoid any big steering inputs. So slower hands on entry will allow you to roll more speed, and then only try to ask the car to do things 1% at a time. If your hands up like that constantly, you're scrubbing speed and you're making the car blow past its 100% friction circle. So that's why you're going to continue to scrub speed and you'll just slow yourself down. Try to keep in these long duration corners like this one, try to keep your hand inputs a little smoother so that we're not scrubbing speed with the wheel. Whatever speed you roll in there, if you rolled in too much, that's fine. Gather it up. But to go a little quicker, you're going to want your hands to be nice and steady, and it's going to be pretty dull all the way around. You just want to be right at 100% of the grip available. Asking the car not to do any more work than it has to, because if you do any big hand inputs, then you're just going to be scrubbing speed. So that can take a look at it again. You'll probably start your turn in just a tick earlier. Trail the brake in, keeping all that weight on the nose. and then just roll tight all the way around there. Don't add any distance to the track that we don't have to. There, I would probably avoid the last downshift. Just work on rolling speed. You grab third gear again so quickly here on the exit. I think it's third gear. Third gear so quickly on the exit. You're probably going to be in a decent RPM range. Now, it may feel sluggish, but you're also avoiding an extra shift. Every shift is going to slow you down. If you're right on the cusp of, well, it feels like it lugs, but the next gear comes up so quickly in the lower gear, then your best bet is probably the taller gear. So don't do that last downshift. Roll some speed, focus more on that and just being smooth, and you'll probably roll a few kph more through the corner. That last downshift sounds so high in the revs. Now you're really engine braking for the short period of time that you're turning, and that's why you're probably able to go to so much power here off the exit. Yeah, I'd probably just cut out that last downshift. It might feel a little sluggish, but practice it, and then you're avoiding an upshift on the exit, and it's going to be faster. Good corner. Also, the last bit of the lap, it looks pretty good. I like your approach through here. So again, that was much better. You set yourself up a little bit for the next corner, but that's fine. Just don't go out of your way to really don't add any distance to the track by and sacrifice an opportunity to go back to power just to set up better for the corner. It's probably not going to be worth it. Add power, just keep the track as straight as line as you can. Every steering input's going to slow you down. So I liked your approach through there. That was much better. Well, good corner. And back to turn. I don't have a problem with the way you are doing turn one. It's just kind of whatever you feel works the best. Wherever you feel the grip is, if you can take a wider entrance and the grip is good, I'd probably do that. But if this is where the grip is coming into the corner, then that's perfectly fine, diming it off like that and getting a good exit. But experiment around here. And it's a pretty funky corner, so it could probably be done a whole lot of ways. As long as you're getting a good exit, that's probably the most important. Even though it doesn't lead onto a terribly long straightaway, it looks like it's really slow. Let's see, yeah, doing 95 kph, so it's not terrible. But yeah, no problems there. I would just say experiment with a wider entry. You can still diamond it off, kind of, but the exit here isn't that long. Like the neck, it doesn't lead onto a huge straightaway, so it's just rolling speed and getting through the corner and getting out. So just remember, try not to add anything that's going to make for a big, huge direction change in the center, and scrub all that speed. It'll be more about extending the previous straightaway here as much as possible. And if that means you can set up a little wider and get a little lighter turn in and trail the brake in easier, then that's probably going to help you. So those are kind of my feedback to kind of address like the 4-3-2 on the downshifts. It doesn't really matter. I usually, every time I drive a manual car, I usually do every gear. And in certain circumstances, like where we talked about, doing 2 downshifts isn't probably necessary. Just doing one at a time is kind of what I prefer, but I would say that's totally up to you. I don't think there's a big difference. Um, I just think it's easier to be more consistent doing them one at a time versus possibly miss rev matching when you try to skip 2 gears at a time. All right, that's what I got for you. Hope this was helpful. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. Take care.